Do you remember that old statement, you are who you hang out with? I wish that I could go back in time and tell young Jason just how important and impactful that one statement is. Because if I would have listened to the person who initially told me, you are who you hang out with, I think my life would have gone completely differently. Now, it could have been completely different, good or bad, depending upon that time frame of who I was hanging out with, the people I was surrounding myself with, and the environment that I was in at that time. But think about it. You think about those friends, the cliques, the groups, the things that you were around in your environment at a younger age, maybe elementary all the way through high school. Did it not pave a path of an identity that you started to form and a person you started to be, and a belief system of things that you started to believe about yourself and your potential and what your future could look like based on who you were hanging out with, based on the people that were kind of helping you absorb the information at that time based on groupthink. So it was interesting to me that hearing that statement, you are who you hang out with, knowing the impact it can make. I remember there was a time when I was studying in college and I was sitting next to a window in the library. And sometimes I would put in classical music to kind of help me study and to kind of get me in the zone. But I remember also what I would do is when I wasn't in that zone and I was taking a break, I would put in something that was empowering and help me educate and keep my brain kind of the juices flowing a little bit. And I remember I put on Ken Coleman. And I remember Ken Coleman talking about the proximity principle. And as I think about this statement of who you are, who you hang out with, the proximity principle, for those of you who don't know, is basically talking about putting yourself within the proximity of the people or the environment that you need to be in to give yourself the opportunity to absorb the skill sets, the resources, the knowledge needed to achieve something that you want to be or that you want to accomplish in this life. So for instance, let's say you want to be an author. You want to put yourself in a position where you are around people or have a mentor of somebody who has had success writing and publishing a book, who understands the ins and outs of everything. So you want to maybe even start, putting yourself at a publishing company so you can learn the entire process. You want to maybe just dedicate some of your time and, allow yourself to really be in an environment where you can start absorbing the information that is needed to put yourself on a path toward what you're trying to accomplish. So if you were trying to be an author, again, you want to start writing, you want to start, looking at YouTube videos, you want to start reading books that are empowering, but you also want to put yourself around people in a situation that allows you to kind of absorb the necessary things needed to put you on a path towards success, to put you on a path toward that desired result of being an author. So the proximity principle is basically saying putting yourself around people or around an environment that allows you to absorb the things needed to accomplish the goal that you want. And I find that so fascinating because a lot of times we don't take it that seriously. And if you're an introvert, it's even harder because you don't want to get out of the comfort zone that you normally place on yourself on a daily basis. Like I'm kind of in between an introvert and an extrovert. I can't remember what it's called. I know there's a saying for it, but my introvertness can kind of come into play where I have a certain routine that I like to stick to. And I'm so drained of energy if I have to talk a lot to a lot of different people. And even though I know that if I see an opportunity and I know it's going to benefit me, it takes everything in my power to say, I'm going to do this. And I know some of you out there probably feel the exact same way. But here's the important thing. When I hear Joe Dispenza talking about neuroplasticity and the way that we rewire the brain, it comes from getting yourself outside of a comfort zone and putting yourself in a situation that kind of may not be uncomfortable, but it's different. And it's a choice you made that is putting you on a path towards something that you desire. And who you surround yourself with is only going to help you or harm you. And if you surround yourself with the right people in the right environment, with the right information, it's something that is invaluable. It's absolute pure gold for what you were trying to accomplish in this life. And I can tell you that firsthand. I have made so many decisions when it came to opportunities that have been presented to me, and I had to fight my brain to stop from the stories that were telling me, you probably won't get anything out of it. It's probably not that big of a deal. They probably don't have anything for you that's going to be beneficial. You're probably just going to be small talk the whole time, da, 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 da. And I had to fight that and go in, and I always got something out of it. Always got something out of it, because I always went into it changing and rewiring that thought process that it's going to be a waste of time to, this is going to be the best time I'm going to have. I'm going to meet some amazing people. The people that I'm going to talk to, we're going to benefit each other. I'm going to have something that is going to benefit them, and they're going to have something that's going to benefit me. And it helps when you think about the whole proximity principle, putting yourself in the environment that is necessary. You know, I remember a perfect example when I really wanted to get into football scouting. I've talked about this on a previous episode. And I was really nervous because I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, I'm just a guy sitting on a couch watching game film of football games, putting my ideas out there. Who's going to want to hear or pay attention to anything that I have to say? But the more I did it repetitiously and the more ideas I put out there, the more that people were responding to me and wanting to know more about my evaluation process. And to the point where I had an opportunity come up to me to join the scouting academy. And I thought to myself, I'm like, this is way out of my league. Like, who do I think I am that I can join the scouting academy and I can, learn, obtain knowledge that, real NFL scouts are obtaining, college, coaches and scouts are obtaining. Like, I never even thought that was a possibility for me. It took everything in my power to break past that and say, you know what? You are worth it. This is absolutely something you can do. And you're going to meet some amazing people. Not only did I do it, but I got to know Dan Hatman, the CEO of the NFL Scouting Academy, and he's probably the most amazing person I've ever met in my life. And he's been a great mentor to me to this day. And it was me getting outside my comfort zone and creating that experience and allowing myself the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to put myself in a situation where I'm going to be around people that know what they're doing. And I'm not going to sit here and say whether I'm going to, be good enough or not. I'm just going to soak it all in, and I'm just going to absorb the knowledge. And I'm going to be so grateful and thankful for the opportunity that I have at this very moment. And it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. And it was one of the greatest decisions that I had ever made. Sometimes you just got to get outside your own comfort zone. And sometimes you got to stop yourself from sabotaging the ideas and the opportunities that are presented to you, because that's what's been holding you back this whole time. And you got to rewire the identity that you have in your belief system and know that the things that come along that are good, you deserve them. You absolutely deserve them. But you need to surround yourself with the right people. So another concept of this is when you surround yourself with the right people, you start forming the same behaviors, habits, and belief systems of those people. So be very careful who those people are. Be very careful of the situation that you place yourself into, but know that every situation that you put yourself into is just going to be another learning experience. And sometimes it's trial and error. Sometimes it's the people that you think are going to be good turn out that they kind of disappoint you. And that's okay. That's okay, because you took a step and you took a leap of faith. And that is a big deal. And that goes a very long way, because you're telling yourself that you are not going to be stuck in the habit of a routine that is going to hold you back. You're going to take advantage of opportunities. And because you do that, because you take advantage of opportunities, more opportunities are going to come your way because you can be entrusted with them. So it goes a very, very long way. Nothing is ever wasted. The only thing that's ever wasted is if you tell yourself that it's wasted, because you can always learn something from every experience that you have. But I want you to think about not just the people, but the environment that you're in and the things that you absorb into your everyday life, the music that you listen to, the TV shows that you watch, the social media that you doom scroll through. Is it benefiting you or is it harming you? Is it a waste of time and just numbing your mind to not have to deal with your reality? Or the things that you're absorbing, the things that you're reading, the things on social media, the things that you're watching, the music that you're listening to, is it actually helping you become a better person? Is it actually empowering you to have better beliefs and better thoughts about what this world and this reality can provide? In let me see, I have it up here. Proverbs 13:20. It says, "Whoever walks with the wise will become wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm." That's huge. That says it all right there. If you walk with the wise, you become wise because you start walking in the patterns and the belief systems and the narratives and the skill sets that the wise have. You start becoming the people that you're around. You start walking with the right people. It starts putting you in a path in your life that you are ultimately trying to create and the desire that you want. And those people are helping you along the way. We were never meant to do things on our own. I'm not huge into religion itself. I'm a Christian, but what I do think is fantastic and I love about church is the fact that it allows people to come together and help each other. It allows people to come together and guide each other and empower each other and be there for one another and help each other along this journey of life. And that is such a huge thing. We can't do this on our own. We were not designed to do this life on our own. So if you walk with the wise, you will start identifying the identity of the wise. But if your companion is a fool, then you're going to cause yourself harm. And think about it. When you walk with fools, when you walk with people that are, that are so reliant on drugs, sex, alcohol, violence, does it not do you more harm than good? Does it not tear you away and repel you from the life that you want instead of projecting you toward the things that you're trying to accomplish? That verse makes total sense. That verse says a lot. And if you can surround yourself with the right people and be around the people that are going to uplift you and help you and empower you, it's interesting the fact that you being around those people, you find that you have things that you provide to them. And that's what this life is all about. It's all about helping each other, loving each other, empowering each other, bringing out the best in one another. So guys, surround yourself with the right people. Put yourself in the proximity of the things and the people that are going to help you along the way to get to the desired result of this life you want and the desired identity of who you want to be. Because I promise you, it's going to make a huge impact and you'll be so happy you did it.